Hey everybody, I'm here today to tell you how to stop worrying with 5 simple steps. If you're the type of person that worries about many things, if you are a quote-unquote a worrier, then this video is for you. Let's get right to it. Step number 1 is to realize that worrying is pretty much pointless. Now, when you worry about something, it's actually not really benefiting you in any way, shape, or form. The sole act of worrying about something, there's no good that can come out of it. So when you realize that, you'll realize that there's pretty much no upside to worrying and only a downside. Pretty much means that there's no reward, there's only a risk. And if you would ever invest in something that has no potential reward, but only almost a guaranteed risk, that would be a bad investment. So you're investing your thoughts, your emotions into worrying, which really isn't a good idea. So as long as you realize that worrying is almost pointless, you've already done step number 1, okay? Step number 2 is to realize that worrying actually harms your body. Now, when you worry, you are getting stressed out. You are encountering stressful emotions. And those stressful emotions and those worrisome emotions will really affect you in a negative way. They will cause your body to respond by doing things like making you feel sick, okay? You'll experience all of these, basically these negative things with your body, all because you were worrying. So with that being said, if you worry, you're gonna start making your body respond with these negative things, with these bad things. So if you don't want it to harm your body, then you need to realize that worrying does harm your body. And then it'll help you stop worrying. So that's step number 2. Realize that worrying harms your body. Step number 3 is to know the difference between worrying and being concerned. There's nothing wrong with being concerned. Being concerned is human nature when there's something to be concerned about. Worrying, on the other hand, is kind of like being overly concerned for something that doesn't even require any concern. So if you feel quote unquote worried about something that has very, very legitimate reason, then that is pretty much what concern is. If you're a little bit worried for a legitimate reason. On the other hand, if you're extremely worried about something that has no backing, no evidence, no reasoning behind it, then that is being worried. So being concerned is perfectly fine, but being worried is not so fine. And also, concern comes and goes here and there. Worrying happens very frequently. Okay, that's also a big difference. So step number 3 is to know the difference. Step number 4 and step number 5 kind of work together. So I'll just go over them one by one. Step number 4 is if you can't do anything to help it, stop worrying. Just stop and think for a second. Whatever you're worrying about, can you do something to help it? Can you actually do something that will help the situation, okay? If the answer is no, then just relax and stop worrying, because worrying won't help the situation and you can't do anything to help the situation. So just sit back and let it play out. Don't worry. Instead, be concerned after something has happened. Don't worry about what might happen if you can't help it. Be concerned after something has happened and figure out how to fix it, okay? Last but not least, step number 5 is if you can do something to help the situation, then do it. Most of the time, if you can do something to help the situation that you're worried about, doing that something will actually get rid of the worrying. So with that being said, think about any tiny little action that you can take that will help the situation. And if you can do that tiny little action that will help, then do it. And if you can do a larger action, then take the larger action that will help the overall situation. Most of the time, if you take these actions, they'll help more than enough so that you can actually stop worrying. And that's basically it. That is a 5-step process to stop worrying. I'll go over the steps one more time just to sum it up, because I know that I'm all over the map and I talk a lot about each step, okay? So step number 1 is to realize that worrying is pretty much pointless. Step number 2 is to realize that worrying actually harms your body. Step number 3 is to know the difference between worrying and being concerned and identify whether you're worried or concerned. Step number 4 is that if you realize that you can't do anything at all, just sit back and stop worrying because you can't help the situation. Step number 5 is if you can do something to help, then help the situation. Take action and do something to help. And that's basically it. In this video, I've told you how to stop worrying with 5 simple steps. Take these 5 steps and you'll be able to stop worrying. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what your tips are for not worrying and to stop worrying in the comment section down below. Tell me what your tips are. And above all, please be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.